Okay, let's be real. The fact is, carnivore is simple, it's healing, and it's satisfying. But sometimes you just want a treat. I'm not talking about a cheap meal, not a sugar bomb, but something that feels indulgent while still fueling your goals. That's where this little gem comes in. Today I'm sharing my brand new favorite carnivore treat, browned butter carnivore custard. It is rich, it is silky, and delicious enough to feel special with that little undertone of toffee, but still 100% carnivore approved. And here's the kicker. It only takes 3 ingredients, 30 minutes, and less than 20 bucks to make enough for the whole week. I make mine in the little canning jars so that they're perfect grab and go size, whether you want a small meal, a snack, or that little something at the end of the day. These hit the spot every single time. And the best part? No complicated prep, no weird ingredients. It's just pure, high-fat goodness that keeps you on track. By the end of this video, you'll see why carnivore custard has become my absolute favorite go-to treat or small meal, and I will walk you through step by step so that you can have a batch waiting in your refrigerator too. So let's go ahead and jump right in. My brown butter custard recipe has fast become one of my go-tos. Now you'll notice that this pan, it's kind of messy, and that's because I just made a batch of butter bites, which I actually use in my coffee and for snacks. So yes, the pan is a little bit butter bite dirty already, but I'm not worried about that. So the way that I make my brown butter custard, which gives a really yummy kind of toffee-ish flavor, is I take about 1/3 of a block of butter and I melt it in, and I just stir it until it starts to be a little bit golden brown, golden to medium brown, just like you would if you were making butter bites, just a little less butter. And if you want to see the full brown butter bite recipe video, then you can see that in the link below in the description. So I am just browning that butter up. Okay, and you can start to see that it's getting a little golden, and you can see some of that little yummy bits in the bottom. Now normally I would take it off and pour it straight into my butter bite molds, but instead what I am doing this time is pouring my milk directly in with it, and that is 4 cups of non-pasteurized milk. I like to use the Kerrygold butter, but you can use any kind that you want, and you can start to see a little bit of that yumminess from the butter bite in there. Now, the reason that I'm warming the milk is because I find that when I put it in my glass jars to cook, it mixes and cooks a lot better when the milk is warmed before it is added to the eggs. So while we are letting that warm up, I'll show you the rest of what I have prepped. So like I said, I used 4 cups of non-pasteurized milk. I used 10 eggs, and I have already whisked them up. Some people are concerned about the bubbles. I'm not so much concerned. I don't feel like it makes a huge difference. I have prepped 7 little mason jars. And the reason I use this size is because 7 of them fit perfectly in the pot that I am going to be cooking it in. Okay, my milk and butter bite mixture is all warmed up. In the meantime, I am boiling some water to do a water bath on my little jars. So now I am just going to pour that mixture of milk into the whipped eggs to make the egg mixture nice and warm. And I will mix that up. And then we're going to take it over and we are going to run it through a colander. Now, a lot of people do this to get the bubbles out. I really don't do it for that reason. I do a little straining because when I put the warm milk into the egg mixture, sometimes there is a little bit of egg that is left over. Now, I wish that you guys could smell this. Holy moly, it smells so good. So you can see there's a little bit of the egg whites left. Now you can totally leave that. You could probably even use a blender or a whisk and get it a little bit more mixed. But I just find that it's easy to just run it through the colander and get that little bit extra out. And we are going to put the mixture into these little canning jars and top them, and then we will put them in to bake. Now I did want to show you, shows a little 10 on the bottom. It's a number 10 canning jar, but I wanted to show you the size because it doesn't specifically say an ounce. I think it's probably 8 ounces if I had to guess. So I will get it poured in, get the covers on, and I will pick up with you in a moment. Okay, so now all of my custard is in its jars. Now earlier I said water bath. It's really not. It's more of a steam cook. So there's plenty of water boiling in the bottom of my stock pot, and then I have them propped up. And the reason I do 7 is for this reason right there. It perfectly fits in my stock pot, and it kind of keeps me honest with 7 days worth of custard. Now I have found that this size takes a full 25 minutes, so I'm going to set my timer and I will come back. Okay, now my custard I believe is done. It's been about 25 minutes and I've removed one of the little jars, but I did want to show you, it seems like a simple thing, but I found this KitchenAid little set of tongs that's kind of concave, and it is the easiest way that I have found to lift these out. And it makes it so easy. Now I did want to mention that the best way to tell if it is done is to just use a knife, and if you get a little jiggle, it is perfect, and that is great. Now I will show it to you when it is all done and ready to eat, but I will just let these cool for a bit on the counter and then I move them into the refrigerator. I hope you enjoy this recipe. It is one of my absolute favorites lately. If you loved that little treat, you might want to check out my video on exactly what I eat in a week on Carnivore. It's simple, delicious, inexpensive, and totally doable. I'll link it for you so that you don't miss it. Now tell me, does brown butter carnivore custard sound like something that you'd try? If you do, I would love for you to come back and let me know how it turned out for you. And stay tuned because I'll be dropping another one of my absolute favorite recipes, my carnivore lasagna. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one. It is layers of meaty goodness. But before you go, drop me a quick comment and let me know what your favorite carnivore treat or meal is. I can't wait to hear your ideas.